She used to text back fast. She used Tokari. Now she pulls away even though no. She still feels something Yura confessed, angry, hurt, but here's the stoic truth. A woman can ignore you and still madly in love. Let me explain. Most men take it personally. When a woman ignores them, they think she must not care anymore. They panic, they chase, they beg bet. What if I told you sometimes silence means she's feeling too much, not too little today? I'll break down why a woman in love might distance herself, and how a stoic man should respond, because erecting emotionally will only make her pull away more. Let's go deep. 1. She's overwhelmed by her own feelings. When a woman falls deeply in love, she doesn't always know how to handle it. The emotions are intense. Consuming event. Terrifying love isn't always soft. Sometimes it's chaos inside her mind, so instead of leaning in, she pulls back. Not because she stopped caring, but because she is scared of how much she does. Stoicism teaches us to not react to this, but to observe it. A woman overwhelmed by emotion needs space to breathe, not a man chasing her shadow. If you give her that space, you give her the safety to come back to. She's testing your stability. Women don't test you out of cruelty, they test you to see if you are centered. When she ignores you, when she acts distant, she wants to see, will you spiral? Will you beg for attention? Will you lose yourself just because S is quiet? A stoic man stays grounded, doesn't chase validation. He holds frame calm, confident and unshaken. If you pass the test, she trusts you more, not because you said something clever, but because you stayed solid when she shook the ground. 3. She's afraid of losing control. Love makes her feel vulnerable. Vulnerability, it's not easy, especially for a woman who's been hurt before. If she's ignoring you, it could mean she's trying to regain her control. She's trying to protect herself from falling too deep, and you chasing heraldly makes her feel more out of control, so she backs away. But the stoic man knows control isn't enforcing control, in letting go and trusting your own value. If she's truly yours, she'll come back. If not, you've just saved yourself time, for she doesn't want to feel dependent. Some women are when they fall for you, it misses with that identity. They start needing your presence, your voice, your energy, and that scares them. They don't want to feel like they need you, because dependency feels like weakness. So what do? They pull back, they ignore it to hurt you, but to remind themselves that they can still stand alone. The stoic response? Don't try to force closeness, respect her independence, and continue building your own empire. That balance is what creates long-term attraction. 5. She's waiting to see if you'll chase. Sometimes silence is strategy. She wants to see what you'll do. Han, she pulls away. Will you beg? Will you become desperate? Will you blow up her phone? Or will you continue to live a or life-focused, driven, unfazed women, drawn to men with purpose? If she senses that her silence makes you crumble, the attraction dies. But if she sees that your world doesn't stop spinning without her, she'll come back, not out of guilt, but respect. 6. She wants you to prove you're not like thirst. Every woman has a past, pain, disappointments, broken trust. When she starts to feel something real, old wounds whisper, don't get too close, you'll get hurt again. So she tests, she ignores, distances herself, not because she wants to hurt you, but because she's scared of getting hurt. And in husbands, how you respond matters more. Ethan, anything you say. The stoic man doesn't react with emotion. He strength, calmness, and patience. You prove who you are by staying grounded, not by trying to fix her feelings. 7. She's trying to maintain her power. In modern dating, everyone wants control. Sometimes a woman pulls away, not because she doesn't care, but because she's afraid of losing power in the dynamic. If she feels like she's falling too fast, might ignore you just to feel strong again. But this is where most men fail. They try to convince her, chase her, and in doing so, they give all the power. The stoic man, he doesn't play games. He stays true to his value. He doesn't beg to be chosen best. He knows the right woman doesn't need to be chased. What you should never do. Now let's be clear, ignoring you repeatedly and disrespectfully is not healthy love. It's not stoic to tolerate emotional manipulation. So here's what to never do. Don't beg, don't double text and stalk her stories. Don't lose sleep over her silence. Let her actions speak. You speak through your peace, your purpose, and your discipline. You don't turn love by proving your worth. Tassimian, confused about you. What a stoic man does instead, he observes, he detaches emotionally. He watches, not with fear but with awareness. If she pulls away, he doesn't panic. He continues building. He protects his time, he sharpens his focus, and if she returns, great. If not, he's still rising because his value doesn't depend on her attention. That is the kind of man who Becco Messenfergal. Here's the brutal truth. Sometimes women ignore you when they're deeply in love, not because they want to hurt you, but because they're fighting themselves. But your reaction, that's what separates weak men from powerful ones. If you stay grounded, patient, and unmoved, she'll feel it. She'll see you as the man who doesn't beg, doesn't break, and doesn't chase. A man who respects himself, and in the end, that's the kind of man she'll come back to or deeply regret losing. If this message hit home, it's time to level up your mindset. Subscribe below for more content on stoicism and emotional power, because chasing love is outdated. Be the man worth chasing.